All right, if you're a bookkeeper, accountant, or tax professional, I'm going to teach you about value, what's valuable to small business owners. Because if you understand what's valuable to business owners, you're going to be able to sell larger retainers. You're going to be able to attract better clients, and your clients are going to be happier. I have 3 areas that I want to focus on. If you've seen this already, let me know. But I do websites, ads, SEO. I have a small team of 7 of us now that come alongside accountants. We do a lot of contractors and stuff too. Go to feedbackwrench.com. But let me dive in to what I find are the 3 most important value propositions for a business owner, for an accountant. Okay, this is accountant, bookkeeper, tax, CPA firm, whatever that is. Number 1, the number 1 thing is that they don't want to overpay in taxes. Saving taxes is huge for them, right? We all know that, but it's only one small portion. In fact, one of the greatest dilemmas is that it's a flash in the pan value proposition. If you come along board, create a tax plan, implement a tax plan, it's expected that they're going to save those taxes year after year. There's also a negativity to if you're their accountant or tax professional and all of a sudden you try to sell them tax planning services, they're going to look at you and go, well, why weren't you just doing this in the first place? There's a weird negativity there. So you got to be careful when you talk about taxes saved. But if you can identify whether or not they're getting proactive tax planning, how confident are they that they're not overpaying in taxes? And then you can connect that to building tax efficient wealth, which is another part. You're going to find the business owners are really engaged and they want to work with you. In fact, one of the best things you can do is, hey, I'm an accountant, bookkeeper, and tax professional, but I focus on providing proactive year-round tax mitigation planning to make sure that you don't overpay in taxes in each year and over the long haul. And then I can help serve as a CFO. Do you have somebody that does that for you that's doing a really good job? Or could I take a look at your tax return and see if I can find some opportunities? That being able to do that and use a quick illustration is going to help you a ton. The second thing is wealth built, okay? I talked to a plumber about 12 years ago when I had Nuance Financial and I was still prospecting, and he was at retirement age. He was an older baby boomer. And I started to talk to him about what we did on the way home from a Bible study, actually. And when I mentioned something about we do proactive tax planning, and by the way, are you maximizing your S-Corp and doing everything possible to reduce your self-employment taxes, your Social Security and Medicare? He turned around and he gave me a biting comment. He's like, you know what? That's why I hate what you guys do. My accountant did that years and years and years ago and never told me that I would have basically no Social Security benefit. He wanted to retire. And now because the person who set up his S-Corp for him and tried to maximize the tax savings and mitigate the income subject to the self-employment taxes or Social Security taxes at 12.4%, he had hardly any retirement in his head. So you owe it to your customers to make sure that not only are you helping them save in taxes, but you're simultaneously helping them invest for a retirement account. Here's the simplest way. If they have a bunch of employees and they don't want the complexity of a 401k and all of the testing for that, just have them take a brokerage account and start at Vanguard. This is what I do. Have a taxable brokerage account. Just invest in S&P 500 mutual funds or S&P 500 ETFs. I don't care what it is. Or you could choose the target date retirement plan fund that will horizon between bonds and stocks at the year of that. So you could do a 2055 fund and you could do a couple, you can even space it out and that would be money that you would harvest at that time when it's time to retire. But folks, you're selling your client short if you're not helping them with compounding interest. They need to invest and get compounding interest. Now it might lose value, but business owners are so red meat when it comes to investing in their business and real estate. They like tangible goods, but I'm telling you, just get the money sucked out, even if they don't want to mess with any of it, and get them into a brokerage account. Just buying taxable stuff. Just make sure you don't have a lot of interest payments. You probably want to do, qualified dividend funds or tax efficient funds that just hold, they're not doing a lot of buying and selling within that fund. And then the second thing you'd want to do is take a look at if they don't have any statutory employees. So it's just them, maybe their family or officers in the business, they can do an individual 401k. And Vanguard has a fantastic individual 401k. This thing allows you to put up to 25% of your S-Corp salary. This is not legal advice. You have to check yourself. 25% of your S-Corp salary, plus you can do, and that's the employer contribution. That employer contribution is like a profit share contribution up to 25% of your S-Corp salary. And that is essentially, not totally, not paying Social Security Medicare taxes on it or Social Security taxes. It's super juicy tax stuff. And then on the other side, you have the employer contribution, which is your standard, what is it, $23,500. And you can do up to that amount each year. And it'll either be Roth or you can do tax deductible in that year. And that doesn't save the self-employment taxes, Social Security and Medicare, but it does create a tax later situation. When the retirement happens, they'll probably be in a lower tax bracket. They harvest it then, and they're not in their high earning years. I'm just telling you, got taxes built and wealth built. Get them into real estate. Start playing offense and doing some cool stuff, buying other businesses or hedging some bets. There's a lot that can be done here with tax saving and wealth built, but that's the first thing that they really value. And I don't care how liberal my friends have been, when they own a business, none of them want to overpay in taxes. If you speak this language, it'll help. Number two, the number two most important thing is peace of mind, risk mitigation, and IRS protection. In short, you want this stuff to be done right. Your business owner wants the bookkeeping and accounting to be done right. They want the peace of mind of knowing that the IRS, if it comes knocking, are not going to find anything wrong. They want the peace of mind that a tax bomb's not going to go off at the end of the year. They want the peace of mind of knowing that if they were to go to a loan officer or get a business loan or buy new machinery, the creditor's going to look at, or the underwriter's going to look at their finances and look at their bookkeeping and go, this is great. They want this. This is a language that they understand. Another thing that they understand is that how confident are they that their amateur or somewhat professional accountant or bookkeeper that's in-house is doing everything right? A lot of places, I mean this nicely, have what I call Patty part-timer. This Patty part-timer, what she does is she comes in that business owner's life. She helps with AP, AR, and bookkeeping and payroll, okay? And that's something that you can replace. These folks do a good job. Some businesses need them. But I think there's a huge opportunity when you start helping them understand that if that bookkeeper doesn't know tax law, they don't understand proactive tax planning, if they're not able to provide leadership to you towards the end of the year or throughout the year to invest wisely so that they don't take it on the chin at the end of the year when their bank account's filled with cash and they're trying to figure out what to do. If you don't do that, they're missing out. And so the second major value proposition that business owners want is peace of mind. They want risk mitigation. You should probably do a little Dave Ramsey. There's too many self-employed people like, I have life insurance on me. Long-term disability stuff is probably something I need. There are insurances, protection, liability stuff that they don't think about. You should at least guide them in that. And then IRS protection. I'm going to do it right. So if the IRS comes, I can actually have your back. Those of you that can actually represent. Not only that, but I'm going to make sure that we're not doing the red flag stupid moves, like writing off your whole car when it shouldn't be. They're just doing obscene mileage that makes no sense or whatever it is that triggers the IRS audits. You're going to help them avoid that. And then the last thing that I bring up when it comes to peace of mind, there's just peace of mind knowing that you've been diligent throughout the year to pay in your taxes. My great story is when I first got started at FeedbackWrench, I was like, you know what? I'll hook up the bookkeeping. We'll kind of save for taxes. I'm just going to go because I kind of knew enough to do this. And all of a sudden, get towards the end of the year, and I remember one year we got a whole bunch of money back, and then the next year, all of a sudden, I owed a ton of money, and I'm like, and then the third year, my wife's like, hey, are we going to get a bunch of money back, or are we going to have to owe a ton of money? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. That tension and not having that answer just set me off. Like I was just mad. I'm like, I don't know. I hated it. And most business owners don't want to be in that situation. So that's the second most valuable thing you can have. Number one, tax saving and building wealth. Number two is peace of mind, risk mitigation, just doing stuff right. And then the third one is really where it gets huge. You can come alongside a business owner and help them save time and labor, build efficiency and productivity, serve as a staff replacement, and become a CFO. The reason why this is the third is because it takes a maturity in a business owner to understand that when they have a team, they want that team pointed at the core activities. You want them on production, sales, and marketing. You don't want a bunch of administration tasks or administration staff. Okay. Donald Miller does a great job of talking about this. He says that a business is like an airplane. The cockpit is definitely the leader. You've got yourself as the leader. And then you've got the wing, the engines, and the fuselage, the main part. And the wing is production, and sales and marketing are the engines. And those are the two things that create lift. Everything else goes on to the fuselage or in the middle and creates drag. It weighs the operation down. The more you can have committed to sales, production, and marketing, or at least sales and production, the more lift that business will experience. So you are going to be able to come in and help them save time and labor genuinely. You'll be able to come in and do in a couple minutes what takes them hours. You're also going to improve their efficiencies and productivity as you get their whole team out of stuff that they're not great at and into the strengths that they know they have. The last thing here, or the second to last, is staff replacement. They can hire you for a monthly retainer of $1,500 a month. And that's going to be much cheaper than paying somebody for 8 hours a day or 8 hours a week at $30 an hour. If they hire what I call Patty part-timer, when they come to you for their outsourced accounting needs, they're not going to have to hire what I call Patty part-timer. In fact, they'll just be able to, they may need an in-house staff sometime, but this will make it so that's way off in the future. And then the last thing is you can have mature CFO, chief financial officer conversations with them and genuinely help them scale. And that, most business owners want to build a more profitable and more scalable business. That's like what they're all about. I want it to go further faster without me necessarily doing everything. And then I want more profitability. And a CFO can come in and create a framework and financial systems and operational systems to achieve the goals that might be just a dream inside of a business owner's mind. So again, these are the three things that I find are valuable to a business owner. Taxes saved, wealth built, peace of mind, doing things right, mitigating risk, IRS protection. And then the last thing is creating increased productivity, efficiency. And guys, if you need a website, if you need consulting, strategy, messaging, or even if you're just looking to partner in some different ways, go to FeedbackWrench.com and be on the lookout for BookkeeperSEO.com. We've got AccountantHustle.com and AccountingWebsites.org are all going to be different platforms where we just try and help raise the entire game in the accounting industry. But we would love to come alongside you and help you get more of these clients, help you out. Good luck. God bless. Like and subscribe if this is helpful. I need your help.